one of the things that very few candidates will do is role play. And it sort of doesn't make sense that you wouldn't be open to it. But here's what we would recommend. You're going to walk into an interview and you're going to be thrown curveballs. You have no clue what their interview process is, and yet you're expected in real live time to be put on the spot and answer questions that you've never heard before from this person and that you weren't expecting to get. And nowadays, people get really thrown some curveballs with interviews. So we say role play. Find someone you're close to. Find a family, a friend, someone who can just throw some curveballs at you and ask you those basic questions that you know are typical interview questions, even if you don't think you're going to get it. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Tell me about yourself. You should be able to casually just rattle those things off, and you should have a prepared answer, especially to the strengths and weaknesses. Everybody knows it's a terrible question, and everybody asks it anyways. And some people will frame it differently. But what people are looking for is they're looking for you to kind of be genuine and be able to speak to examples that you have in your employment history that would translate into being successful for the position that you're hiring for. And the only way to do that is to get good at that and be able to communicate it is practice saying it. Your elevator pitch for who you are, tell me about yourself, you should be a pro at that. You should never stumble at that. Be very clear, concise, and direct with who you are, what you're looking for. Speak about what's important to you, your principles in life, what are the most important things in your life, and why you're here and what you're going after. Keep it clear, concise, direct. Answer it within 30 seconds to a minute. You don't want to ramble on, but you do want to be very clear and specific about, who you are and what you're all about. And the worst response you can give someone who says, tell me about yourself is, what do you want to hear? Because if they had something specific, they would have asked you what they wanted to hear. So you to have some sort of prep is a huge, huge win for you that will separate you from other people who ramble on and on. And the best advice we can give you in the guidance is to role play it out. And if that means that you have to sit in front of a mirror and just answer the questions to yourself, do it. Because the more reps that you get, the better you're going to be. And if you recently lost your job and you haven't interviewed for a long time, trust me, you're rusty and you can get thrown a curveball. So the more practice you put into your routine, the better you're going to be, and the more casual and genuine will come off when you're talking to someone who's hiring people.